What's up, people? It is Sunday. I think it's getting close to 7 o'clock. A quarter to 7. Kind of a nice beginning of a nice evening. Do a little smoking. What a melon. Finishing the other half of this. We had to put it out earlier. Juicy joint. It's called What a Melon. Kind of like you're saying watermelon. You say, what a melon? Tastes like watermelon. I don't know if that's like flavored with just like, fake watermelon flavor, or if it's from the weed or what, but it's infused, so it has concentrate in it. But it tastes like watermelon. Me and my brother were smoking it earlier. And about halfway, he was about halfway gone. He was like, I'm good. It's like, all right, put it out. I'll smoke it later. It's got, I don't know what it'd say. It's about 44% THC. That's what it said on the wrapper. It is pretty high. Pretty close to half of this is pure THC. It's burning good. Let's see. It's nice and white. If I can get it to focus. I just can't. Oh. I don't know what's up with that focus, man. I think I got something on auto that I don't want on auto. It's maybe something with the macro camera. Maybe I just need to get closer. But then it quit. Like when I first did it, it was good. And then like once something adjusted, it won't focus again. So I don't know. See? It's there at first. Super duper tasty. I got another one. I do. I brought it with me because I'm not sure. I might hike kind of deep into here. I'm not sure. I planned on a maybe, so I brought another juicy joint. This one's different. Revenge of the Blueberries. See if you can. 44.25%. These are a special treat. $10, man. I can't afford to smoke $10 joints all day. I smoke a lot of joints. Probably on a slow day, I smoke 5 or 6 joints. And on some days, I might even smoke 10 plus, easy. On certain days, it just depends on my mood and stuff and what I'm doing. I tend to smoke more when I hike, especially with friends and stuff. Like if I feel like go out hiking with a buddy or something, we'll usually roll up a bunch, 3, 4, 5 joints. Like a 4 or 5 hour hike, and we got 4 or 5 joints. It's like every hour. We stop like every hike for an hour. Stop and take a break, smoke for 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, walk another hour. Pretty enjoyable. Walking out in the woods, out in nature, smoking. Definitely a good place to be high, as opposed to some other settings like in a busy city or something, or metropolis kind of area. I don't know. I mean, that can be okay. Like, it can be cool too at times. But sometimes a change, something more natural, change of pace is nice. There are times though when the city's cool too, man. When you can be high, and all the lights and stuff, and everything's all shiny, and there's something about that too. It's got its own appeal. But I do like to mix it up. I like to be able to switch. I kind of like where I live. I kind of like the fact that Erie is so accessible to nature and a city, both kind of contained in a pretty close area. I mean, you can really get in some nature if you want to. You don't have to drive very far at all outside of the city. Like, you can just drive outside of the city. And once you're even like less than 10 miles out, you're starting to really get out into some, you've gone through 10 miles of nothing but very sparsely populated urban stuff, just homes here and there, spread out. Like, you're pretty much out in the middle of nothing pretty quickly. This part of Pennsylvania is not very populated if you think about between Erie and south of it, like to Pittsburgh, and east of it out to I don't even know, man. Like, east, you ain't really hitting much till, I can't even think of a decent sized thing until like State College, all the way in the middle of the state. It's a lot of emptiness. It's a lot of that place where people, Amish country and stuff, thought that out in there. Like, just like, it is kind of not a whole lot. I'm gonna say, and Erie's not a huge city, but it's like, I'm thinking it's got somewhere between 80 to 100,000 people on average, like somewhere in that ballpark. Which is a city for sure, but at the same time, it ain't like no fucking big metropolis or something. Like, it ain't that kind of city. But we get some traffic, that's for sure, especially this time of the year. Tourist season, there's a lot of tourists here, so it's a lot busier than normal. A lot of extra people in town. Right here to the left of us here, out over this water out this way, attracts a lot of visitors, a lot of vacationers. Let's see. That is just the bay. Park little peek through the trees of the bay. And I mean, right on the other side of what looks like another tree line out there. Just the lake is all out there. But there's a thin peninsula between us. There's a bay here. This lake brings a lot of people. The amusement park. And all the weird crap they do. All the big sports parks and stuff we have here. All kinds of different events going on and things, and colleges, tons of colleges, medical schools and things. Brings lots of people here. Man, I like this. I mean, it might be $10, but I'll tell you what, it's good. And this is the second time getting extremely high off of it. I got real high. 2 people got real high off the first half of it. Me and my brother got fucking good and stoned off just half of this. Maybe a little more than half. I'm probably smoking the smaller half. I'm fucking high. I've been high. Although, I don't know. I've been smoking all day too, so it was almost like it was starting to get hard to get high. But this 44%er seems to do the trick. It is working. I was trying to talk to my brother a little bit about words, man. Or about word even itself, the word. Like word means like also it's like a promise, right? Your word, like word is a bond. You give someone your word. I was trying to relate how there's more to it than that. Like words form sentences, right? Words form a sentence, and that's also a bond, a sentence. You're to be bound. Stuff like that. Things to think about. Seize the day. Right, the word seize actually relates to word. Right, the sea, like out there, the lake, the sea, seas or mares, another name for them, right? You get like marina, and marines and stuff. Mares, which also comes from an old word, it's just mere, M-I-R, like mere. Sea, right? Makes sense, a mere, seas. But mares also mean misery and a horrible experience, horrors, nightmares, horrors, misery. Misery means to hoard or to seize, right? Like seize, like you can seize the day, to seize something, to capture it, to hoard it, hoard, right? Miser, misery, 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 same word. So promise, a promise, right? Promise, promise. Went out. Might be about done. Might be a little empty spot by the bottom. Yeah, I think it's about done. All right, so you can see how the word seize or seas and seas relate to each other, how seas relates to both word and bond and misery and hoarding, right? Yeah, horse too, it's also a mare, it's a horse, horse. I go a lot deeper in that stuff, even how it relates to Horus and hours and time, right? When you keep it on like a watch, seas, watch, on guard, garden. To be bound, right? Means jail, love. Jail and love are the same word, G-A-O-L, jail, love. To be bound, the connection between all things, the connection between people, relationship, kinship. Literally means I love you. Right? See how that relates to N-jail, N-G-E-L, angel, N-G-E-L, in jail, right? Which means to be stuck, bound, to flunk, fail, to be left behind. It means you and I, specifically means you and I. It means the definitive the, like it means the. You and I, the. Just kind of strange, huh? It means to be abandoned, which makes sense, right? An angel, a band on, like that ring, a band over their head, abandon, left behind. Felon, fallen, angel, fallen, felon in jail, fallen angel, right? That's what it means. Mare is an interesting word too, right? Marine, or like mare, I-N-E, ein, mare, ein. The sea, the mere, ein, I. Mir Ein. Mir Ein. The eye, the all-seeing eye. I, the self, the cell, the self, the cell, self, sell, sold. You sell something, you've sold it. A soul, sold. A cell, a battery, a jail, but also a battery, energy, right? Plus and negative. I should say plus and minus, positive and negative, right? Really, technically. Stuff to think about. Think of that band too. It's a ring, right? Band, a ring. Ring's how we signify a bond, a promise with like Mare, age, Mare. Remember, Mare is misery also. To hoard, miser. Promise, a bond, a ring, a band on. See, Mare, age. Watch, seize the day. Sight, the eye, the definitive eye, the eye. The day, the sun, prison, pre-sun, sees the day, prison. Word, right? Promise, bond, words form a sentence. Sentence ends with a period. Word is spoken. You can see a spoke also as a point or a time, a single point. So is a period. Period's also a single point. Both are times too. A period or a point is a period, an age, an eon, a passing of time. Eon's also an anagram of one, right? The one. At one. Atone, at one, means to be at one and to make amends at one. Tone is also a ring, a band on, a ring, a tone, a sound, word, spoken. A spoke is part of a wheel, a spear, a sphere, a spear, a spear. Wheel, wound, world, spoken. Vibration, right? I think about it like it makes me think about water. It can be Mare, Mary, right? Mary's also known as if you look at the Virgin, she's the star of the sea. She used to be worshipped. I forget the name. There's a specific name they do that relates to marine, to the sea. Mary. It's in her name. It's like an Italian or something. It's a good name. It makes it a little more relevant, a little more able to see. But yeah, she's the star of the sea. The Virgin Mary. Water is the virgin, right? Mary is the virgin and the whore. Right? Remember water, mare, seas, whore. Because it's both. Like water is if it's untouched, if it's not spoken into with the word, with the breath, the spear, the spirit, the sentence, the word, the bond. If it's still, if water is still, it's the virgin. It can take any form now, like any form, right? Anything spoken to. In anything, it doesn't really have much. Like, I don't know if it can resist. Like it's a whore. Vibration has an effect, I believe, on water. Water, watts. watts, remember? Cells, energy, battery, our soul, our cell. It all starts born in debt, born in sin, right? Sin sounds like when somebody commit a crime, or it's also interchangeable particularly with the word debt. Look up debt in the dictionary. One of the definitions is plainly just sin. Debt is one word. It's defined as sin. So born in debt, prison, doing time, pain, dues, pain, suffering, horror, misery, pain. A lot of the words make sense. You can really go a lot further, even the whole thing. You just think about like just reproduction in general, and like semen, and the seas, the point, the pinnacle, the peak, right? The time, the climax. It's the beginning and the end, right? Climax is one of those words. It's a beginning and an end. In a way. So is what's a really good word? Execute. To execute something means the beginning and the end. Climax might, how is the climax the beginning? Actually, when I was thinking of that, it just came to me, but maybe that's not true. But usually every time something comes to me, there's a reason. Like there's something in my subconscious that knows it. Like there's a link or a relation. I often find myself looking it up and something like, I don't think that was right what I said there. Like usually when I look it up, it is. There might be something to that. I mean, I guess I just thought the climax is the beginning for birth, for reproduction, to create life. Climax, but it's also the end. Climax is the ending. So that does make sense. It does. That makes sense. There might be more to it than that too, but that's one thing that comes to mind. I have a bad memory, but I think my subconscious memory is really good. A lot of times I feel like I just know things, but I do because I've read a lot of things, a lot of words, a lot of definitions and meanings and origins. Sometimes I'm not sure where my thoughts are coming from, but it's from that pool. From a pool of knowledge, the sea, the pool, the watts, the water. Definitely a nice day, people. Seize the day. A10 was the sun. Listen, also too, Kronos, the father eats time. Father time eats his son, Aten. But Aten was the sun god in Egypt. Horus, hours, 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 ours, ours, I, the definitive me and you. The ring, the circle, the bond, the horizon, the limiting circle. That's what a horizon is to define. It's a limiting circle. It's as much as you know. It's as far as you can see. That's as far as you can't see any more than what you know. I think it's partially too because like somehow we create the reality. Create, Aten, create, to decree something. A written, writ, ten, Aten. I think somehow we create. And you can only create what you know. So, I mean, you know what I mean? Like you have to know it to create it, to see it. So you're only going to see what you know. You're only going to see what you want to know. Is another way to look at it, I would think. Somehow. But that'll be your horizon. That would be your limiting circle as far as you can see, or what you're bound by is what you know. So like if you didn't know that you were bound by that, you might not try to expand what you know, right? Like that's one effect of just knowing that the horizon is the limiting circle. You know, the eye, it's literally the word eye, it's eye, the eye. The pupil, and the student. School comes from skull. It's just a dialect variant of skull. That's what people called school. You were learning, they thought, like in your brain, in your head, in your skull. They called it the school, skull. Temples, you had temples. The cathedral. Catheters, nodes, energy. Cathodes. Zoom out here a bit. Get a better view of where I'm at. What I'm doing. A little cooler out here. Shade out of the sun, the trees. It's pretty warm today. A little uncomfortably warm for me. I think it was saying the outside temp was 89 on most of my trip, and I'm driving 80 miles an hour pretty much the whole way, at least plus. It's in the wind. It was 88, 89 the whole way. My car's outside temp. A little road trip today, couple-hour trip out to New York. That's where I bought that smoke. Them joints. High as a hawk. Bought them from the High as a Hawk. Never stopped there. It's like the first store when you come into the little town in the Seneca Nation territory. It's basically like the first little, like, real little gas station and diner. And they sell weed. They have a dispensary in the back called High as a Hawk. And it's a very strange atmosphere, man. Like, one I never really thought I'd experience or mix together. But, like, when you walk in the front door, like, to the right is a convenience store and part of the gas station. There's gas pumps out there. It looks like a convenience store, gas station. And and I've seen this before. Immediately to the left, if you turn left, they have a diner, kind of like a truck stop diner. And it smells like a diner. As soon as you walk in the door, you know what I'm talking about, that smell of the diner. Like that certain smell of the food, like, it smells like a diner. And weed. They had a dispensary in the back. You got to go through like 2-3 doors to get back to it. It's way in the back, but they allow smoking back there. Just dabs. They're doing concentrates, dabs on a dab rig back there. They're free. You can just take them. They take tips. And yeah, the whole place smells like diner food and weed. Something I never really put together or thought I'd make. That's why when you walk in, and you kind of get the vibe like you're in the gas station diner, like at a normal truck stop kind of stop on the highway or something, which they kind of are. This town is basically just an exit off 90 on the highway, and it's always been pretty low key and small. Probably not a whole lot of traffic. People go there to buy cigarettes a lot, always. That's what's the thing. And they had a casino, which back in the day, casinos were more regulated. We didn't really have them. We have casinos now all over. There's one right here in Erie. But people used to go there more, used to go to the casino because it's Seneca Nation, right? It's a reservation, so different laws. And cigarettes, no taxes on cigarettes. So they got some traffic off the highway for that. But now their town is booming. I mean, it is so busy when you go there. You wouldn't believe it. Like every dispensary I've gone to, like a dozen of them there, every one I go to, you got to wait in line usually for a while. And there's like hardly nowhere to park even at them. Like the place is just packed. And I think it's like that nonstop, like anytime I've gone. I've been there early in the day, around noon and earlier. I've been there late at night after like 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. It's just as busy. Either time of the day. I think it's just nonstop. And it's getting cheap. Now the place we usually go a lot, me and my brother, they have their top shelf. And they usually have like 3 shelves, 4 shelves, depending what they got. Now their most expensive, the very top shelf, is down to $60 an ounce. Right? That's fucking crazy, right? Like, that's cheap. That almost just seems like, what? Like, that felt too cheap. Like, is there something wrong with it? Like, I'll be honest, too. It's not that bad. I've been having some trouble being real hit or miss out there. Some of the weed is bad. Not flushed. Doesn't burn good at all. And the joint won't even stay lit. It burns all black and tastes horrible, like chemicals. But once in a while, it's pretty good. And it just so happens this super cheap $60 an ounce, their top shelf, is pretty good. It's not like, it doesn't have the most intense flavor or smell that a lot of people would desire, but it also has no bad taste or aftertaste or smell, and it burns nice gray, clean white ash, like it's flushed and clean. So that, to me, alone, is a big plus. It may have been cured a little fast, dried. It doesn't know why it has so much flavor or smell. It can affect that a lot, the cure. But it was grown well. Appears to be chemical, pesticide free, and nasty plant food, whatever, free. You know. Oh, we're getting pretty far out here. I kind of was debating how far I was gonna. Now I'm out. Now I'm committed. Now we're out here. Now we're doing the full fucking loop. It's like losing my breath coming up that hill. That was a pretty long hill. Just kind of kept going and going and going. Actually, I gotta go the other way. You gotta go up and down this hill here. This is the better one. This one's actually way steeper than what I'm going to. I like it better to go this way. I like the other one coming back for some reason more. I think I'm still missing it. Yeah, I go all the way to the edge. I haven't walked up this far in a while. Tree fell. Oh, it's not over the trail. See, it's gonna drop and then go back up. You can cross it down a little further the way we're heading, but it's nowhere near steep. The dip. I kind of want the steep dip. Doesn't look that steep on the thing, but it doesn't really. It is. Some buildings down there, roofs, something there. Whew, sweating though. It's definitely humid. Although it sure is nice being in the shade without that hot sun beating on me. But it's still probably 82 or something in here instead of 89 like out in the fucking open. It's still humid. Which means the sweat is not really evaporating. Doing its job, cooling the body. Which I do not enjoy. I don't like to feel real sweaty, start getting sticky. It ain't so bad if it's dry out or kind of windy out and it, dries and doesn't doing its job. But when it builds up in your shirt and fucking underpants and shits just stay wet, like, that's not fun. It's really humid. I ain't getting too bad yet, but a little bit under the underarms. That's about it right now. But I feel it on my forehead, not evaporating, like wanting to start to drip. It's good though. I'm getting a belly. I am. I look so good at the end of fucking last summer too, into the fall. I was starting to get a real nice V shape going on, man. Although I was doing 4 or 5 hour hikes 4 to 5 days a week. That played a big part in that. And then about in December, in the winter, end of December, like around Christmas, I stopped. I did my last hike right before Christmas, a couple days before. I kind of quit and haven't done it until this is the end. This is what, August 2nd, I think today, or 3rd. And this is only maybe my 4th or 5th one of the whole summer. Maybe it's my 6th, maybe. And I'm not even going very far. This one's going to be maybe an hour and a half or something. No 4 hour. And yeah, it made a huge difference, man. Fucking belly, I don't like it. I just been starting to notice it, like really more the last month or so to 6 weeks than ever before. It's like, oh shit. A little belly. I'm gonna get back out to work. I was really trying to gain weight hard too, was the funny thing. Like I let my goal, all my weight goals on I use like a smartwatch and smart scale and all that kind of jazz, right? And monitoring my BMI and all that stuff. And all of my goals were weight gain. I was putting down like 1,000 calories above my normal weight and height recommendation almost a day, and food. And I was still losing weight because of all the exercise. Like I was still just kept losing and losing. It's crazy how much weight I lost. But then it finally stopped. At one point it finally stopped. And then I started gaining weight, but it was all muscle, like no fat at all. It was all from working out 4 to 6 hours a day, almost like 5 days a week. Usually when I wasn't hiking too a lot in between, I was weightlifting, or at least doing pull-ups and push-ups and sit-ups and shit at home. But except for some reason, I just kind of quit. Like Christmas time, the holidays came and it got real cold out finally. The winter kind of finally really came and shitty. You didn't really go outside or nothing. Kind of turned into a shut-in again. And yeah, my belly came back. So I know the drill, man. Like if I start, I'm probably going to lose weight first. I'll probably lose like 5 to 10 pounds. And then I'll slowly start to gain if I keep adding muscle back. Hopefully it'll be easier with a little bit more weight on me to turn it to muscle. I don't think it does though. I don't think fat can turn to muscle. I don't think it works like that. I don't think so anyway. I'm not really sure. I don't know that. Maybe it does, but I don't think so. I think you'll just lose it from my experience. First you'll lose fat. Or you'll at the same time, even as you're gaining muscle, you start to lose the fat. But I tend to lose weight when I first start exercising for a few months before I start to gain, which is because I'm skinny. I'm actually really skinny, which actually extra sucks to start to get a little belly, because it does not look good on a skinny guy at all. It don't look so bad if you're kind of a big burly guy with big thick arms and shoulders and stuff not so horrible, but I'm a skinny dude, it just looks horrible. I don't like it. I don't want it. So, getting my ass active again. I don't want to stop eating though. I don't want to diet. Like I said, I'm skinny. I keep eating. I'm just getting the exercise back. A routine. I was in such a routine, I didn't even feel right mostly if I didn't exercise. Like every day, I had the urge, it was I had a kind of like a impulse, compulsive about it, like a habit. It was actually turned into a habit. which I shouldn't have broke it. It's usually hard to break habits. Like, I don't know why I stopped. I remember it was hard too. Really, for the first few weeks, month or something, that I quit. Like I did. Like every day, I kept feeling, man, I should go out. Like, I don't know, it's fucking 20 degrees or whatever, 10 degrees, and I just had to. It's like, man, I feel like getting out in the woods, like going and walking for a couple hours. Like I gotta do it. And I didn't. It's actually like a hard habit to break. I really wanted to. I felt like almost like anxious and shit every day, like wanting to. Like I'm stuck in the house, man. I remember kept talking to one of my hiking buddies that I hike with. I kept telling him, man, I can't wait till it starts to warm up till winter. I can't wait, man. I was so ready to go back out. I miss it. And then, winter ended. Spring came. Now it's like I got a new habit. Fucking trading crypto. Not wanting to leave my computer. And the things I always do, looking up words and listening to music. I always need a few hours, man, a day to listen to music and look up words. It's like my thing. I guess I'm totally addicted to that. Like, that's my life. I look up words, think about fucking words and how they relate to reality. And I listen to music a lot. And often music will inspire me of what words to kind of think about or directions to look things up and stuff. Lyrics and songs will often inspire me. Also, I'll often interpret them very differently than in the face value. Even very different than when, like, I'll usually a lot of times look up what the writer of the song said or what they wrote it about. And usually it's like kind of real dumb or plain, like, oh yeah, like I literally wrote this about like a night at the bar here. Like this was, this and that and this happened and that. Like there's no deep meaning to it, but I see one. Like, and they may have did it by accident. They may have just, wrote something out that happens to be has a lot deeper meaning to it. In fact, because it's happening to them, they're telling us their story, and I think it's because our stories have a much deeper meaning to them. There's a repetition, is what I'm saying, in them. There's like we're all part of the same story. The word, the sentences, we're all part of the same book. We're all characters or something in the same play, the same stage, right? A planet, you stage it, you plan it, a planet. And age, notice the word age is in stage, and the word stay, to be stuck, seized, to seize the day, right? The stage. So yeah. Thinking about sparking up that other doobie. I am pretty close to 6th Street, and here it's busy there. I'm gonna spark it up. I don't know if I can finish it, but we can smoke some of it. It is pretty good stuff. Oh, it's like sealed. It's like cellophane. It's like shrink wrap sealed. I didn't notice that. I've got no fingernails. I literally just cut them and filed them yesterday, I think. There's like nothing. I can't get the little shrink wrap off. I can't grip it. And I'm all sweaty. It's all slippery. It's all shrink wrapped around the tip. I can't get it, man. Come on, you bitch. I'm going the wrong way. I'm gonna go this way. I don't want to go out in the park. There's like a park there in between, kind of in the middle of the woods. Like half of the woods are on, like the east side of this park and half on the west side. And There's like a park in the middle with like some baseball fields and a BMX track and stuff, and volleyball courts and picnic things, and, you know. We'll go around that. Boy, I might have to pause the camera so I can use two hands. I think I can use my teeth. Doesn't seem like it's like perforated anywhere or nothing. Like a spot where I can open it. I guess this is childproof. It's got little dots kind of around a circle out of the quarter of the way down, right there. If I could seem to perforate it. They're not very much cut, like they're not. Like their perforating thing didn't work good, like it's, I don't know. I can burn it off. Apply some fire to it. Let's try that. A lot of mosquitoes out here. Oh, I think that actually worked. Give it a minute. I don't want to touch it when it's hot. But we may have happy in business. Oh, mosquitoes are starting to get me, man. Oh yeah, we're in business. That was enough to give it a break. At least. Make it more brittle. We're in. We are in. Hopefully the smoke will help deter the mosquitoes. They're getting fucking annoying. Grapes. It tastes like grapes, man. It does. Almost to the point that the other one tasted so much like watermelon that I think it's flavored. I don't think the weed could taste that great. Like, I don't know, maybe. It's definitely some good weed in there, but I think they added some grape terps too, some grape flavor. That's what I think. Oh, it does taste good. It's enjoyable to smoke. It's not really harsh. It's just really smooth. Although the other one was a little tastier. I kind of like the watermelon flavor more. The other one was sativa. This is indica. This one's actually just going a little harsh to me. There, that hit. Almost maybe just might have been some stem. I've zoomed out there, like in a wide view. I kind of like that view sometimes. But this is just a normal 100% here. More what it looks like. Trees here. Yeah, this one's got kind of a bad aftertaste, honestly, even to it. The last two hits. It need lit a little better. The other side of it. I much preferred the watermelon sativa one compared to the blueberry indica. Tastes like blueberries, but it's like, it also seems very harsh. It has kind of a weird bad aftertaste to it, honestly. I hope it doesn't stay. Like I said, it might be kind of tastes like maybe I'm smoking a stem too. So, sure, these are mass produced. And you got some stem grind up here, and hopefully when it burns down some of these pre-rolls, I get that a lot. Where I'll hit a bad part, either in the beginning like this, or even maybe in the middle. Like first it tastes good, then it's like, oh man, it's all harsh. I think it's some stem. Then it goes back to good. Get past that part. That tasted more promising. It really may have been a stem. It's starting to burn better. Maybe actually be a stem than a stem that it wouldn't burn there. Half burned. And stems do not taste good to smoke. They're not. They're very harsh. Oh shit. These people's. Hello. Hey. Head up in the middle trail. There's the edges on the way in. We want all the way on that outer edge. We'll go in the middle, in the back. I don't know if that'll mean more or less mosquitoes. Ooh, that tastes a lot better actually now. Now I'm convinced. I think I hit a stem. A little harsh though. I'll take a very big hit there. Kind of harsh. I like the watermelon. I would buy another one of these, a watermelon. I did. I enjoyed it. I would not buy another blueberry or whatever this was. I ain't saying it's horrible. You might like it. I'm gonna say I've smoked better things. Although it's getting me real high. It is potent. It is still 44% THC. So is the other one. So I'd rather enjoy the taste and have it nice and smooth and pleasant versus harsh and some kind of bad aftertaste, man. Like it almost tastes like the weed ain't flushed too good, but it's starting to burn real even and good since it got past that one spot. And it does taste less harsh, but you know. And so we're getting near back to that hill, the big dip. Like I said, we're gonna take the other hill on the way back. We're not over on the edge. It's nowhere near as steep over here. This is like the easy way. Zoom back out a sec for a minute. Oh, here's some. Heard some kind of animal up there. Kind of chirping, squawking, but not a bird. Something kind of making little squawky noises. There are coyotes out here. It's really the only thing that you could run into of danger out here is coyotes. And unfortunately, the ones that really hang right around here that I catch all the time, but only at night, but that I do, they hang out in a big pack. It's not just like one, like it's like a pack of them that roam here. But I've never seen them until after sundown. And then it's very hard to see them. They're usually like just inside the woods. You can hear them all howling, fucking making weird laughing, weird noises. Almost sound like a pack of hyenas sometimes. I think when they're killing something, they have some kind of little prey or something that they're getting. They're fighting with each other over it and stuff. But yeah, I wouldn't roam around here after dark at night. I wouldn't, not alone anyway. Maybe with a group of people, that'll deter them. And if you're with the group, don't lag way behind. Don't look like the weak one lagging behind. Serious, man. Think like the animal thinks, man. They don't kill many people, but they do. They kill a handful of people a year. Coyotes in America, I believe. I've seen the stats. It ain't many, but they do. I think they injure a lot more. They can attempt or something at it and give up. They generally, is what I read, they only do it in packs, though. Generally, solo ones will not try to take down prey that large. You're more like a deer size or something. They only hunt stuff that big when they're in a group that hunts together. They'll take you down as a team. Not what you want. You don't want a team of a fucking dozen or something, 8 to 10, 12 coyotes trying to eat you. You don't. Not when they can be, they're like 40, 35 to up to, they're like up to 90 pounds around here. Something like that. I think they're 35 to 90 pounds or something. They vary. But usually the females on the smaller side and the males are bigger. 90 pound, 95 pounds, a pretty big dog, man. Actually, a wild dog. There's something different about like wild shit, man. They're strong. They don't lounge around the fucking house all day. They don't get fed meals to them and stuff, hand fed like in a bowl. They gotta fucking hunt it, fight, and run for it. Like they're way stronger. You think like a person, they're way more physically fit. Like yeah. And a 95 fucking pound coyote is nothing to fuck around with. I tell you, you wouldn't want to have to. They got some pretty serious bite force. And that's some weight to work with too. Enough. Especially if there's a bunch of them. But yeah. Needless to say, we don't roam way out here in the middle of the night. Especially when you walk a little walk outside around the parking lot and you can hear them out here in the woods fucking howling and shit. Sometimes they're pretty close, right up on the road on my boulevard there. They come right up in the other, like on the boulevard area, those trees. I've seen them running across the road there multiple times. The only place I've ever actually like physically seen them with my own eyes. I hear them a lot more than I see them. I hear them almost every night going out on my back porch at night. You can usually catch them, hear them howling and barking and shit out there somewhere out here, not too far. They sound similar to dogs, but not really. I noticed they're different. They sound a little more towards the hyena, like a dog with a little hyena almost mixed to it, but not that pronounced. Like not as, like if you consider a hyena having like an accent for a dog, they don't have it as strong, but it's a little bit, They seem a little squeaky. Little, like whiny, make lots of weird whining noises and stuff. Like, we're more than halfway. Back, I believe. We're getting there. We're up top. We walked across there on the bottom, down below here, down closer to the water. At least at this part we did. We went down the hill up here. Then we walked up it all the way at the edge on the corner. We walked up this fucking cliff. sand. The lake used to come up here a long time ago. The lake was this high. This sandy ground. It's actually a whole lot higher at one point. Looking at some weird stuff, some history of the lake that I've seen. It used to go all the way up to what we call here 26th Street, basically, in like West Grandview Boulevard, which is, okay, the Erie streets go numbered from 1st Street, 2nd Street, starting at the lake down here, right, at the lake shore, 1st Street, 2nd. So 26th Street would be 26 blocks up into the city. So apparently the lake used to go to there. And you can kind of see it in the geography, the hill, the way it's all kind of like, you know, and it's been at different levels. Like I think this used to be a level maybe at some point. Unless these were just big, huge drop-offs under the water. But I think maybe like it was the shore almost here at one point. And at another point it was way further up where there's another big like a drop-off point where the water would have eroded like at the edge, you know. I think technically if you dig down in the dirt and the earth up in here between 26th Street and the lake, technically you're digging under old ancient lake bed down in there. I don't know. That's kind of interesting, right? I don't know what you might find under an ancient lake bed. But if you could get under the lake, what would you look for? It's technically under the lake, like it used to be at one point. Who knows? I think for millions of years it used to be a lake, you know, up here. I don't know if you're gonna find nothing. Maybe fossils of old marine life. Eerie, man. Something weird about Eerie and all those words we've been talking about. Because another word from, you know, talking about the mare, a sea, a mare, misery, a horrible experience is something that's like that, like a nightmare, is eerie, right? So like Eerie can kind of fit that. Lake Erie, since like the lake is technically a word, mare, Erie. Sounds almost like a nightmare or something. Almost like saying mare, or like whore, like eerie. Like it's almost like it's almost like the same name. I guess when I'm saying Erie, it's almost the same word as sea in a way, kind of meaning misery and horror and a miserable experience or a nightmare. Nightmares can be considered eerie, right? If you have a nightmare, is it eerie? I think that's right. That's kind of my logic there. Ear, eye. Sounds almost like something with ear, with hearing and seeing. And hearing links to the sea too, because to hear something, you heard it. If you heard it, you've heard it, right? Heard it up. Sees it, heard it. Miser it. Promise, word, bond, bound it. So, it always relates, I'm telling you. Eerie. I'm really high. It's harsh. I'm extremely high though. It's almost like though, say you got a bottle of cheap fucking like grain alcohol, like the cheapest shit they got, and it's horrible tasting. Like it's so hard to like kind of like to drink it. Like you just like, and you like want to chase her and drink something else right after you take a shot or whatever. It's gross, but it fucking gets you really drunk. It really fucks you up. That's what I'm going to relate this to, something that experience is very potent. It does not go down very easy. But this is the blueberry one. Whatever these are, these juicy joints, pre-rolls. But the fucking watermelon was smooth and got me just as high as this too. but very smooth and enjoyable to smoke. It was a sativa. This is indica, so I don't know. They had more flavors too. They had other strains. I don't even know if I would have thought maybe that there was a chance that they were all the same strain. Maybe I thought there was a chance that they were all the same. And they just put a different flavor in each one. Like, yeah, that one's watermelon, that one's blueberry. But they're not, because this one's indica, the other was sativa. But maybe all the indicas are the same and all the sativas are the same. Could be with different flavors. But those maybe just two strains. I don't know. I don't know if they're saying that's the flavor of the weed or the flavor they infused it with. If you know what I'm saying. Packaging can be very deceptive. Hard to say. Sure. Oh, see, these are definitely two different weeds. They may be the same infusion, the same sugar or resin or whatever they've put in here, or, butter, oil, whatever the fuck it was. I think it said there's a few things in there, some oil, some something, a couple of things. Cold extracted, it said something. Cold extracted oil, no chemicals, cold pressed. I'm pretty sure that's the same oil, different flavor, the oil added. But these are different weed. This weed's harsh. It doesn't burn as clean. It's not burning horrible. A couple spots were worse than others. I had like two spots where it didn't want to burn through too good. It tasted like stem, to be honest. The sativa was fucking tasty. I know it was probably artificial flavor, like watermelon flavor, but it worked. Like it was, it just went with whatever the weed was in it really well. Like it was it was really enjoyable to smoke and like not harsh. You just wanted to keep hitting it, and you get way too high because you can't stop smoking it because it tastes good. Although I'm going to finish this. I'm smoking the whole thing to the head. Mine earlier, my brother wanted to stop it halfway through. One with two of us. He was good at the halfway. I just smoked the other half and then took the whole one to the head. Oh, and I also did just snort, so I'm really high. That's for sure. It worked. Wasn't the most enjoyable smoke. Watermelon, very enjoyable. I'm done with it. It's gone. Indica, usually kind of a nighttime smoke, if you know what I mean. I don't feel it. Oh, I am hiking. I do got the heart rate up for one of the first couple times this year, summer, going. So it could have something to do with it. Maybe once I get home and settle down, it'll hit me different, but I don't feel like I'm couch locked, that's for sure. I feel like I could keep walking, but it's getting dark quickly. It never looks like it in the camera. It doesn't. But the sun is setting. I think it's almost like not visible anymore in the skyline below the trees. It's over there somewhere to the west. The west is the best. Sun sets in the west, but at least it does rise in the east. East. So that eat word in there again. Eat. Tasty, tasty. Breakfast smile. Bacon, and eggs, some cons. Some bacon, bay. Sitting on the dock of the bay with some cons. Eating some eggs. Yummy. Yeah, I know I'm weird. I'm fucking weird. It's cool. We're cool. Ooh. Something scattered in there. Must be sound like a little squirrel or something. Sorry, buddy. I want to scare you. Well, I'm out of the woods, people. I think I'm gonna just go home. The sun is Over there, I saw it a little. See it? See it there? It's pretty orange. It's setting. It'll be dark in an hour or so. It's kind of dark down there in the shadows of the trees. All right. Peace out, people.